Hello, welcome to my weekly look ahead video and the first one of the new session, because today we've had the state opening of Parliament. But first I just want to give my congratulations to all those new councillors who were elected in Worthing and Ada last week. There's some big changes, change of control at Worthing Council, but I'm sure all those new councillors want to do the best for everybody living in Worthing and Ada. But it's a busy week in Parliament, the beginning of the new session. We've had all the pomp and ceremony, slightly slimmed down version because the Prince of Wales gave the Queen's speech as Her Majesty wasn't able to be here. The clearing up's going on behind me now, but we had lots of pomp and ceremony earlier and all the traditions that we have on the state opening day. It was a pretty packed Queen's speech with about 30 or so bills, just to highlight the forthcoming planning bill, going to be really important to make sure that local people are given some powers over some of these excessive developments we've seen a lot in Shoreham and Worthing in particular. We've got reforms for renters and on social housing regulation to clamp down on unscrupulous landlords. There's a new procurement bill which I'm very interested in to make sure that public services in particular can procure services and goods more locally, environmentally friendly, and also helping small businesses too. We're going to have reform in financial services. There's going to be legislation on economic crime, a victims bill, which is long overdue, a bill of rights, which could be controversial. I'll talk more about that in a later video. Clamping down on gay conversion therapy, again long overdue, Northern Ireland legacy bill, and then there's going to be a big emphasis on the levelling up agenda. And the biggest issue, of course, is the cost of living pressures that we've got, as well as the fallout from what's going on in Ukraine. So it's going to be a packed parliamentary session. So we're going to have 5 days of debate of the Queen's speech this week. Elsewhere in Parliament, I started the day at number 11 Downing Street with a reception hosted by the Chancellor on mental health, a No Time to Wait campaign. I'm going to be putting more on my Facebook page. It's a really important subject. This is the beginning of Mental Health Awareness Week. This week we've got Home Affairs Select Committee, where we have the Home Office Minister in front of us on Wednesday to talk about the Rwanda scheme. Again, many people have written to me about this. I've done a write-up of it in my newsletter. On Wednesday I'm going to be entertaining the fantastic and legendary Dinky Flowers ahead of her 101st birthday. The great dancer from Shoreham. We're supposed to have her up here for her 100th birthday, but alas, COVID prevented that, so I'm looking forward to seeing Dinky in her fine form, as I'm sure she will be this week. I'm visiting some youth projects in Worthing later in the week. I'm visiting some schools in Lancing. On Saturday I'm going to be at the Church of the Good Shepherd for their Christian Aid Big Brekkie Week to buy a bacon sandwich. If you want to do so, be there between 9:30 and 12, really good cause. Farmers Market, I should be there for street surgery. It's going to be slightly curtailed this week because from 11 o'clock there is going to be a special decommissioning parade for HMS Shoreham. The 5th HMS Shoreham, currently a minesweeper, alas, is being decommissioned, and there'll be a parade for the handing over of that happening in Shoreham town. So I'm going to be at that for part of the morning, and then I'm speaking at an environmental conference later on in the afternoon. So a packed week, a packed year ahead for legislation, and I'll be giving a lot more details on that in my newsletter and in videos going forward. But get on with the clearing up.